So what brings you here? You come for deliberate creating. You come to take thought beyond that which it has been before. You are enjoying the evolution of your own desire. You are realizing that your desire will never stop where it is, that it will continue to expand. You are enjoying the expansion of your desire. Yes? We want that. We want you to enjoy the fresh feeling of a new desire. Do you ever have a desire that you have wanted for so long and it has not come about, and so that desire is irritating? You wish you didn't want it, but you do. And there's that feeling of discord between the desire and your awareness of where you are in relationship to the desire. Well, that is your creative playground. In other words, that feeling of discord is the work that you are about. That feeling of discord is the discord that you are in the process of soothing. In other words, soothing that discomfort is what releasing resistance is. And releasing resistance is the only thing that is necessary for you to stand in a place of utter allowing. So there is the art of allowing, or the default of resisting. In other words, we don't think that any of you offer resistance on purpose. We don't hear any of you get up in the morning and say, today, I think I'm going to focus upon as many things as I can that make me feel bad, just for the purpose of setting up a vibrational frequency within my vibrational countenance that makes sure that I don't let in what I'm asking for. We never hear you say that, but you do it every day. And you don't do it on purpose. You do it because you don't realize the importance of being negative emotion free. Now, we want to clarify that because we don't want you to be afraid of your negative emotion. We don't want you to ignore it. We don't want you to pretend that it is positive when it feels negative. We want you to use it as the guidance that it is, that gives you feedback in the moment of what you are doing with your energy stream. So the energy stream is flowing to you and through you. You are summoning it by virtue of your desire. So how did you get to a place of desiring? Well, you couldn't help that. You stand in this contrasting experience where the variety helps you to conclude preference. And as the preference is born within you, that preference summons the energy. So you can't stop that. You're going to summon energy. You are energy summoners. You are focusers of energy. The fact that you're here and alive and aware, even if you're not aware, here and alive, even if you're not alive. In other words, here you are, and you cannot stop perceiving. You're perceiving on so many levels. Even cellularly, you are perceiving. So at many levels of your being, you are summoning this source energy. So that part of the energy stream is happening with or without your conscious awareness of it. Now, the other part of the energy stream, the other part of the way the stream feels to you that we want you to pay really close attention to is, how do I feel when I'm thinking this thought? Because that means everything. If you feel reasonably good, then you have reasonably little resistance. So we want you to think in terms of allowing or resisting. And the better you feel, the more you are allowing. The worse you feel, the more you are resisting. So the art of allowing is really about not resisting. You sort of get that? The art of allowing is about reaching for the relief of letting go of resistance. And when you let go of even the slightest bit of resistance, you feel a little better. You feel a little relief. We've noticed that you can be in the depths of despair or depression. Something has happened, you can hardly breathe. And if you can find an angry thought, there is relief in that angry thought. You feel much better in the anger than you did in the depression, don't you? So, if you're in depression, we would counsel you into anger. Because in the anger, you feel better. And there is another very big reason that we would encourage you to reach for that angry thought. You can reach for an angry thought and find it from depression. Where when we say, follow your bliss, you can't even get a whiff of bliss from depression. So, as you begin to pay attention to the way you feel, and you let the mantra that you are offering every day, all day be, I'm going to reach for the best feeling thought I have access to. Not the best feeling thought anybody's ever thought. Not the best feeling thought I've ever thought. Just the best feeling thought I can find from where I now am. Jerry and Esther have a navigational system in their vehicles which directs them from where they are to wherever they want to go. They just program in their destination, and Magellan gives them verbal and visual description. But Magellan never says to them, where have you been? It just does not matter at all. And yet, so often, you feel compelled, as you're standing in a place that is not where you want to be, to spend quite a bit of time talking about where you've been on your way to this place that you do not want to be. Nothing has any relevancy other than where you are and its relationship to where you want to be. And that's where your guidance system comes in. That's how you're wired. That's what this visceral feeling that you call emotion is all about. It's your indicator that is about your connection to source energy that lets you know in every moment your relationship between where you right now are on the subject that's active within you and where you want to be. So Magellan says, if Jerry and Esther don't listen to her, it's a woman's voice, the man's voice is too bossy. If Jerry and Esther program Magellan and then decide to do something other, like take a side trip to a Taco Bell or something, Magellan has a little nervous breakdown. Well, not really. She's really not emotional, but she is programmed to let you know when you have diverged from your highlighted route. And she says, please return to the highlighted route. She's polite enough. And she does not raise her voice, but she is persistent. Please proceed to the highlighted route. 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 And then Jerry says, shut that broad up. And Esther turns her down so they can't hear her, but she proceeds to have little fits on the screen as she makes big pink arrows and big yellow arrows. She will say, when possible, make a legal U-turn. Eventually, if they ignore her long enough, she will yield to their obvious determination to go other than she has suggested. And she will say, recalculating route. Your guidance system does that constantly. Constantly recalculating the best plan of action from where you are to where you want to be. The highlighted route for you is the route that feels the best. Another way of saying it would be, the highlighted route for you is the path of least resistance. It's the path that feels the most relief. So when someone says follow your bliss, and those are very good words, by the way, if you are following your bliss, and following your bliss is a wonderful thing, though we think those were the best words that were ever offered. Because if you are following your bliss, you are reaching for the thought that will put you most in alignment with who you really are. But the tricky thing about following your bliss is, law of attraction does not give you a lot of thoughts of bliss when you have been beating the drum of despair. In other words, wherever you are is where your vibration is active, and where your vibration is active is what you have access to in terms of law of attraction. Jerry and Esther travel across the desert frequently. They used to do it very often from Phoenix to San Diego. And it was a 400-mile journey. They always enjoyed it. They really liked coming to San Diego, especially in the summertime. And so as they would strike out across the desert, they were never confused about the journey that they were upon. It was easy to understand. 400 miles, head west, keep moving, we'll get there. A quantifiable journey. They never once made it halfway to Yuma and got so discouraged that they weren't in San Diego that they got all disoriented and turned around and went back to Phoenix. In other words, they never lost where they were in the journey. And yet, we see so many of you on your way from sickness to wellness get lost out there in the desert and turn around and go back to sickness. We see so many of you on your way from not enough money to plenty of money, get discouraged out there in Yuma and turn around and head back to not enough money. Because the journey doesn't seem to be understandable to you. You don't seem to know when you're headed in the right direction. And the reason for that is 99% of the vibrational work has been done before you begin seeing any evidence. So you're doing the work, you're headed in the right direction, things are getting ready to pop for you, but then you take score too soon and you say, where's my stuff? Where's my lover? Where's my improved bodily condition? And you get all disoriented and you turn around, and in your discouragement you go right back to where you were, and then you say, this doesn't work, or I'm not worthy, or I'm not good at this, or I need some other information. And we say, you're not listening to your guidance system. Your guidance system, your emotional guidance system, will make every journey understandable. And we can put it to you in very simple terms. If the thought you're thinking feels good, you are on your path and manifestation is right around the corner. If the thought you're thinking feels bad, you're not on the highlighted route. When possible, make a legal U-turn, you say. Deliberate creation isn't looking out and finding something that you don't have and going and getting it and dragging it into your experience. Deliberate creation is finding the essence of the things that you want, focusing upon the essence of them until it causes an activation of the vibration of the essence of it within you, and then law of attraction will naturally, in ways that will knock you over with the efficiency and speed and splendor and perfection of the cooperation of the universe. When you find vibrational alignment with something that you desire, the universe will bring it to you and 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 bring it to you. When you find vibrational alignment with something that you do not want, the universe will bring it to you and 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 bring it to you. So the good news is, in fact, it's all good news, that whatever you're offering vibrationally, it's what's coming to you. And that's very helpful, isn't it? Because if you want to know how you're vibrating, all you got to do is look around. Got a lot of ornery people around you? You might check your own ornery button. Got a lot of paranoid people hanging around you? You might check your paranoid button. In other words, nothing is evidenced in your experience in great proportion or even slight proportion unless there is a vibrational equivalent within you. Law of attraction says that which is likened to itself is drawn. So you can figure out your vibrational frequency post-manifestation. In other words, pay attention to what's coming to you. That'll tell you how you've been offering your vibration. And then if you don't like it, you can set out to change it. Or you can pay attention to the way you feel pre-manifestation and get a sense of what is coming to you. It's actually easier for you to shift vibration before something manifests, because when something manifests, like a sickness in your body or a financial trauma, it's harder for you not to think about it once it has occurred, because you tend to observe what is, but you don't have to. And that's the thing that we're really wanting to say to you. Your guidance system is saying to you, your highlighted route is the route that feels the best to you. So it's important for you from this moment forward to decide that you are no longer going to compare your highlighted route with anyone else's. Can you imagine if Magellan were giving Jerry and Esther information on someone else? Magellan says to turn left, but that's the ocean. You have to not give a rip what anybody else thinks. All those laws and rules that have been written, we understand how they got there. In other words, if you don't understand about vibration, and you're observing, and you see some things that make you feel good when you observe them, we understand why you'd want more of those. And when you see things that make you feel horrible, we would understand why you would want fewer or none of those. We see why your society sets out to try to control conditions. But it makes you crazy because you can't even agree on the way the conditions should be controlled. And then you end up getting in battles. Sometimes it's a parking lot brawl and sometimes it's a nuclear war, as you are trying to prove to the other that your method relative to this is the right one. This environment is big enough to suit all of you. You can live in your differences. And in the moment that you as an individual decide that you're not going to ask one other to change one thing they're doing to improve the way you feel, you will find freedom for the first time. Freedom more delicious than words can describe. We don't know anyone who wants anything, whether it's a material object, a state of being, a change in their physical body, more money, a relationship. We've never seen any of you want anything that was for any other reason other than you think you would feel better in the having of it. And as you show yourself that you can feel better anyway, no matter what, now you are free. And the better you feel, the better you attract. And the better you attract, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the better you attract. But you got to start where you are, don't you? And that's what's tripping some of you up too. You want to jump over. You say, get me over there with all of the things that I've been wanting, and then I will feel better. And we say, we don't doubt that, but you can't get there from there. You've got to feel better, and then you'll get there. And you say, well, I can't feel better as long as the situation is like it is. And we say, yes, you can. And that's what you've come here to learn today. You can feel better no matter what. And if you don't try to feel better, nothing can get better. You've got to change the way you feel first. And when you change the way you feel, you have changed your point of attraction. And when you've changed your point of attraction, everything shifts.